Hi everyone. It has been a little bit since I posted a video, so I wanted to do another one. This video is going to be a little different. I'm going to talk about Sosanna's closet. I'm going to talk about some current events and where we're going with my own personal journey. And then I'm going to talk about some daily practice. I'm going to have a shop announcement, and then I'm going to also give you a spell. If we have time, or as long as I don't forget, I'll do a reading. I think I'm going to do the Crossroads Oracle this week. We'll see how it goes. But I hope you stay with me and, remember to like and subscribe. All right, let's get started. So first, we're here in January. It's hard to believe that we're already here. Um, there's so much going on in the world right now. It's really disheartening where we are, but we're gonna talk about that in a bit. The first thing I wanted to talk about though is about life is moving, life is going. um, I've got a lot going on in my my mundane life, my job and my house and all of those kinds of things. But what we've started doing, Eli and I, he volunteered graciously to start working on the t-shirts again, and start helping with printing things and maybe even start creating himself. So we reopened Susanna's Closet. I rebranded the website, and it's going to be back like we were before. You're not going to find a lot of trinkets and five and dime items that you can get in a big box store, or I think Five Below actually carries smudge wands now and things like that. You can get blessing candles at Walmart. That's not what you're going to see in our shop. We will have candles, but they're going to be candles that are made by us. There'll be in small batches. You'll see a lot of pre-orders available, because it's just the two of us, and we're kind of trying to get started again and trying to make things available for folks. One of the examples of the t-shirts is like the one I'm wearing now. Let me see. Yeah, you can sort of see it. It says Property of Hecate. And we'll have shirts and hoodies and things like that. We'll take custom orders just like we did before when we were vending. The goal is that we're eventually going to get to a point where we can go on site and start vending again. We'll have some things like, some temple incense, and of course the little walnut goddesses that are really hot right now. This happens to be one that I have available. I should have some more by the end of the week. But it is a little tiny Hecate. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's itty bitty, and it fits into this little walnut toned um, carved box, for lack of a better word. Um, I think, like I said, I have 5 of them available right now. And well, they're on pre-order right now. So I have this one available, and then we'll update the numbers once I get finished getting them all assembled. So what I'm trying to focus on right now with those 2 items is to just reconnect, right? Reconnect with who I am, where I am, what I am. And I'm encouraging, those that subscribe to my blog and that follow here on YouTube, to do the same thing, right? You can feel it. You can feel this energy right now. It's large, it's chaotic, it's unsettled. And if you are a person who's empathic, intuitive, or magical, you can feel your shoulders tightening, right? Every time you can, as you're scrolling, they call it doom scrolling for a reason. As you're scrolling through, you can feel all of that exhaustion that's going on around the world. It's collective, okay? You're not alone, it's collective. And that's part of the reason why I've been reconnecting with my practice. I am, just to reiterate, as many of you know, I am vegan. I do what I can to not partake of anything that has animals or animal products in it. I try to honor their energy. Frankly, I am a person who believes that if you are someone that's connected to energy and connected to the world, everything is connected. This table, this deck of cards, this cup of coffee, everything is connected. And I try to make sure that I don't put things in my body that cause a disconnect. And in my opinion, this is only my opinion, things like things that have been created through suffering, when you consume them, whether it be with your eyes, your ears, or through food, you consume that negativity. Um, One of the funniest phrases, and not funny, haha, funny, ironic, is the word humanely euthanized or humanely harvested. Um, it's all well and good, but eventually you've got to kill it, and there's not too many ways to kill things in a nice way. So I believe that those things are, I don't watch movies with a lot of blood and killing and gore, because I'm consuming that energy with my eyes, and that's going to come out me in all different directions and all different energies. Um, so I try to limit my exposure to those things that cause suffering, and that is not going to change in 2026. Um, I will say, however, that um, I've learned that some may look at the gym as suffering, and frankly, some days I would agree with you. But I've incorporated going back to the gym and trying to get myself healthy for probably the last 10 to 15 years, of barring the last 6 months. I have only had about anywhere from 700 to 900 to 1,000 calories a day. And that's with doing all my regular workload, um, doing everything that I normally do. So I was chronically malnourished. I also have a disorder, a malabsorption disorder, that was caused by a Roux-en-Y gastric bypass with a bowel resection that I had some 25 years ago. This put me at a state where all of the absorption of nutrients from the food you eat that would normally take place in your stomach or in that first part of your small intestines, that's gone. I don't have that anymore. So not only was I eating at a calorie deficit, a significant calorie deficit, I was also not able to absorb the calories that I put in. So let's say if I consumed 1,500 liquid calories, then I would get about 60% of those calories. If I consumed 1,500 solid calories, then I would get probably about 30 to 40% of those calories. So my body was at a caloric deficit, a nutritional deficit. I was pushing myself as hard as I could and basically stunted my metabolism. I wasn't going to the gym. I mean, I could barely have the energy to do my steps per day and get up and go to work. So who could possibly work out during that? But what I've done over the past 3 to 4 months is I've increased my calories. I have started going to the gym. And I've started building a little bit of muscle. You can't see it, but there's a little bit of muscle right there. So I've started building some muscle, and I feel so much better. Um, my clothes are fitting differently. I'm ignoring that evil BMI that was pointed out to me so many times by so many people that it's a fallacy. And I've started focusing really on my height to weight ratio and how I feel. So in that, that's a long drawn out discussion to get me to a connection to music that I have. When I'm doing my workout, I'm not sure what you listen to when you're working out or walking or working in the garden or whatever exercise you do. Um, I have found that one of the most inspirational and motivational playlists that are available, it has Lady Gaga, who I absolutely love. And I also have Eminem on there. And then I have this amazing song from my club days back in Norfolk, Virginia. Um, it's DJ Cool, and it's Let Me Clear My Throat. So I'm going to leave a link to the playlists in this description. So if you get a chance, have a listen to it. Tell me what your motivational songs are. What are the things that you put on when you really need to get things done? So I'd love to hear about that. So the next thing that I've done is I've reignited my daily rituals or my daily devotional. Um, I get up when I come in here to start my day, and this is my office. So you're seeing the personal side of my office. But what I do when I start my day is I go to my altar, which is just off to the side. I light my incense. I come over to my wall altar. I open the doors on my Hecate icon, and I light the candle. Um, and I just breathe. And then I go about my day. I keep the candle burning for a little while in the morning times, just so I can keep that energy flowing, and then I'll blow out the candle shortly thereafter. Um, at my desk itself, I've become more okay with the things that I need to get through my day. As many of you know, I'm neurodivergent. I'm very scattered sometimes. So on my desk, I have like fidget tools and grip balls and things like that that I can use just to keep my mind busy and keep me focused through the day. Now, this daily devotional that we're going to call it, it doesn't have to be anything super sophisticated. It can be something as simple as candle, the breath, the intention, right? It can be as elaborate as you want it to be. You know, you could begin your ritual in the bathroom, right? When you're brushing your teeth, when you're getting your hair done. You know, you could bring it through the whole, if you're a person who does something called mindful meditation, I've never been someone who can sit still for a long period of time. So meditation is very difficult for me. But using mindful meditation, using, you know, something like this that you can touch and focus on might help you move this practice into the main part of your day. So that's that. The next thing I wanted to talk about is the shop. So the website has been redesigned. Eli made me a beautiful graphic that I could put on the front of the web page. We've restructured everything on there. It's got new backgrounds. There's new items for sale. There's a new location for the blog, and the Sanctuary's website is now listed at the top. You can click on that to go directly to the Sanctuary and see what Sanctuary of Hecate Brimo is working on, how our work with the blessing box is progressing, and so forth. We also added some subscription levels. And this was just a way for those who may not necessarily want to buy something from the website, but they would like to fund what we're doing, right? There can be a one-time donation. There's a subscription model where it's $5 a month, $10 a month, $15 a month, whatever that donation level is that you would want to make. It's a reoccurring donation, so you don't have to remember to come back and make a donation monthly. So we did make those available on the website, and you're able to just subscribe directly from there. We do appreciate everyone who's already subscribed. Those monies are going to a great cause, and we really appreciate that. So that's the website. The next thing I wanted to talk about is in you know, when we're talking about the website and donations, and that rolls right into compassion. And to me, this is directly related to what we're seeing right now with the Buddhist monks that are making their trek from Texas to Washington. Um, they are trekking by foot 2,300 miles in a walk for peace. And if you haven't seen it yet, do a quick search for Aloka. And I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly. Aloka, Aloka. It's their dog. And this is a dog that they brought with them to the United States. And this precious dog is making this journey across with them. And he is just so happy. When you look at him, his whole demeanor is happiness and compassion. And I think that's really important. And to me, you could do nothing. How could this be wrong, right? Unfortunately, they've gone through several states, and I don't know if it started before South Carolina, but I saw the videos from South Carolina, where Christians are showing up, where the monks are stopping overnight and holding up these awful signs that saying that they're on a path to hell and that they better repent, they better accept Jesus. It is some of the most vile hatred I have ever seen. And they disguise this as, oh, I'm doing this to save your soul. And you're not. You're not. That's just like that whole brutally honest thing. No, it's not honesty, it's just brutality. And I'm going to try not to get too choked up here about this, but it's something it's very strong for me. When someone is doing something to further a peaceful situation, and all you can do is stand up and be ugly to them. And I'm going to tip my hat over. You know who you are. We just talked about being ugly to someone and how my grandmother used to say that, when you were acting up, don't be ugly. You don't have to be ugly, right? They could show up if they disagreed with what the monks were doing. Don't go. Stay home. Have a counter protest somewhere else. You don't need to go up and be, hats off to those monks. Because I don't have within me. I like to say I don't like to say, I say every time I drive past a dog chained outside, I always say, there goes my path to nirvana. Because that always riles me up and makes me very angry. And I know it's attachment, and I understand how Dharma is and all of that. But take a step back, just let these monks do what they're doing. We spend way too much time pushing our views on other people, and I'm sorry, Christians, I got to lean into it here. You are the most common offender. You believe in, hey, love you. You believe in Jesus. You go right ahead and you believe in Jesus. You do whatever it is you need to do to make sure you and your house serve the Lord. Okay. This is my house. Okay. I don't need your laws from your Christianity coming in and ruling my life. Just like these monks who do not recognize your religion, do not need to have your hatefulness put on display, when all they're doing is simply to further peace. So I'm going to leave it at that. The next thing that I want to talk about is where we are right now as a society. There's a lot going on in our world where it may be related to that last topic. But people do not see what's happening around them. So you're probably thinking, Renee, what do you mean by that? Well, there are times, maybe you've been in a relationship with someone, whether it be a romantic relationship or a business relationship or just a personal friend relationship, where you get so attached to the person that you don't see what they're doing wrong, right? You don't see those things like you're not allowed to have your phone locked, or you can't go out with your friends, or you can't talk on the phone, or you can't see your family members. And eventually these restrictions grow and they keep getting tighter and tighter and tighter until you have no freedom at all. This isn't a metaphor, okay? This is very specific to what we're seeing in the world today, specifically in the United States. So what I've done is I've written a verse, and this verse is going to be for removing the veil, right? Just remove what's hidden. Okay, remove that veil that's stopping you from seeing the truth. And this can be used by, I hate to say it, liberal and conservative alike. Okay. This is not anything that's directed at a specific group. It's simply removing that block that's stopping you from seeing the truth. So here, what you would do, and this is that spell I referenced earlier, you're going to go through your process of lighting your candles, getting your space ready, calling the quarters, whatever your normal practice would be. And then you're going to light your candle. You can have a specific candle for this. You can anoint this candle. You can put oils on this candle that you can have herbs on it that'll help open that or reveal that to you. I think I have one. You could use a special dish. Like I have a special spell dish that I use when I put my candles in. That'll help me direct that energy in the way I want it to go. So once you light this candle, you could say something like I would say, Hecate, Torchbearer, Keeper of the Keys, stand with me where the paths divide. Reveal what hides in shadows and silence. Eliminate what must be seen, and guide my steps with truth, not fear. So that's just a very simple verse that you could use to recite into this candle and put that energy out there so that you're able to, just pull apart those shades, open the veil, see what's going on, and not be tied to um, some of this propaganda that's being put out there. And I don't want to be that person who says there's negative on both sides, because frankly, I think shooting someone in the face is probably about as negative as you can possibly be. And I don't believe there's any justification for that type of behavior. We should not be taking lives. We should not be taking the lives of anyone. We should be able to engage in peaceful discourse. We should be able to have a debate and have a conversation without resulting in someone being dead. That's just, I mean, I'm really blown away here. To me, these are just normal human nature, right? There is no one on this planet that I want to suffer. There's no one on this planet I want to die. There are people that I want to be brought to justice, but that's not the same thing. Okay? So just putting that out there. And then finally, what I want to cover is I want to speak to my empaths. Okay. I'm trying to be centered here. I see you. Okay. I see you. To this day, I have not watched the full video of Renee Good. I have not watched the full video of anyone who has been killed in police brutality. You don't have to watch it. You don't have to watch the video to know it's there. We see them. We see their faces. As someone who reads photos and understands the energy behind that, when I go outside, that face of those evil people cover over them, and I see them every day. It is all I can do to work up that energy to push that face aside. So as an empath, protect yourself. Find a way to channel that energy, move it to somewhere that is positive. I mean, if you want to look at it, by all means, but it's not something that's required. It's not something you have to do. So don't feel like you're a bad person or, you're hiding from reality if you choose not to engage in that. You can acknowledge that. You can say, I know this exists, but you don't have to watch the graphic nature of it. And then to build on that, I saw a video earlier this morning about the Say Her Name hashtag. We don't need. I just want to talk to the white people for a moment. You do not need to use that hashtag as it relates to someone who is not Black. That hashtag was created to say the names of Black women who have been brutalized. And I think that while I get it, I understand what you're trying to say, using that particular hashtag should be reserved for those whose voices and whose names have been pushed to the side and forgotten. And in this case, Renee's name is on every headline, right? Her name is out there, as it should be, right? Every single news media should be carrying the name of people who have been killed, or who have been unjustly silenced. But just for this hashtag, I think that maybe we should think twice before using that. And again, that's my opinion. If you disagree with me, hey, leave me a comment. Tell me why you think I'm wrong. Okay, I think that was all I wanted to cover today. Let me just recompose here for a minute. And did I mention we had a coupon on the website? I think I did. We have a coupon on the website where you can go in and you get a 20% off discount. I do have a discount available on the website for you though. So you can go there and it'll be good through the end of the month. And it's across your cart total. So go ahead in there and grab that and make sure you take advantage of that. So I'm going to pull some cards for us today. We'll do a 3-card pull for the week. So let's start with our first card. Oh, beautiful. The first card is the full moon card. Now, our keywords for the full moon card, which all of you should be familiar with, are healing, feminine, and fullness, right? The full moon is a great time for cleansing. It's a great time to do this spell, actually. How about that? This is to help you see what's out there. That full moon is shining brightly. It'll make sure that you can see everything you need to see. So over the next week, look for that. Focus on that energy of the full moon. Our next card is Enigma. Ooh, nice one. This one is part of the expansion deck for the Crossroads Oracle. So you should have this if you've purchased the deck within the last 2 years. The Enigma card says mystery, puzzle, and intrigue. So again, this feeds right into what we're doing. We're lifting the veil. We're revealing the what's hidden from us. Use this energy to focus that in. Look around you. Make sure you're giving that energy out. And our last card for today is Sanctuary. So again, this is one of the newer cards, Sanctuary. Now, Sanctuary is safety, solitude, and reflection. Now, this is really big in what we're doing right here. We're reconnecting. We're getting back in touch with who we are, where we want to go, what we want to be. We're reflecting on what we've had in the past, and we're clinging to that safety that we're going to have as we go forward with life, really. So again, that's the last card. If you're interested in getting this deck, it is available on my website. Oh yeah, I also started up an eBay shop for international orders. So while I can't ship internationally from my website, if you go to my eBay store, the cards, the oracle cards, the shirts, the little goddesses, those are all available on that shop and you can order from there. So I hope this has been helpful and informational today. I hope you've enjoyed our little bit of time together. I'd love to hear from you. Leave your comments. Be sure you check out the website and get that discount. And I will talk to you soon. Have a glorious day.